Hello, I am Aziel, another week closer to a release of Warhammer the Old World, another week closer to the March of Chaos. Chaos is one of the most eclectic of all factions in Warhammer the Old World. There are demons, warriors and beastmen. They are all marching towards Prague to start some unnecessary nonsense. What are the beastmen of Chaos? Well, beastmen are half human, half beast or chaos worshipper. Some are born mutants from normal humans, some are born from animals, and the rest are born from beastmen families. I believe at least one of them is probably more common with the Slaneshi worshipping beastmen. Unlike most other races, especially chaos races, beastmen are absolutely everywhere. In the north, in the forests of Alphalon, and behind the sofa. Everywhere! Being one of the oldest races that have been playable in Warhammer Fantasy, and now the Old World, and of course Age of Sigmar, it is a surprisingly low number of novels and books written about them. I found one, it's an Underworlds book, and that's about it. And honestly, with what I read, apparently it's not very good. So I can't actually make a comment, not read it, but you know, there's not that many books about them. Most of their lore is actually in the army books, both their own and many others that have fought them, pretty much just the Wood Elves. Like, the Wood Elves fight them a lot. It really isn't surprising, to be honest with you, that as a race, as inhuman as the Beastmen, they could be quite hard to write. It's also why there's very little books about the Skaven, or from the Skaven's point of view. There is of course Guy Haley's one, which is alright, but it's not his best, and he is actually usually a top tier author. But that's about Skaven, not Beastmen. As for the models, there are so many different miniatures for Beasts of Chaos. So many different models, Zangors, Slangors, Ungors, Skaven, and lots and lots. An army where no unit needs to be repeated, even if they are using the same unit rules. The size is varied too. You have a nice little cute little Ungors, they are so adorable, little puppies. And you have the enormous trouser staining Sigor. And yeah, that is actually a really big model. I've seen it. It was quite large. So much choice. It's great to have an army that is this eclectic. I love an army which is diverse, and Beastmen usually does that for me. And the Vanguard box is just as good. It's one of the best Vanguard boxes ever made by Warhammer by Games Workshop. And yeah, okay, it is Age of Sigmar, but all the models and rules will be in for the Old World. And that is the Grey Bray Shaman, 3 Dragon Ogres, 10 Gors, 10 Bestigors, and 10 Ungors. 34 models, and with great big Dragon Ogres, which looks so good. And as I said, this is an army which is going to be diverse in all its stature. Anyway, as you noticed, there is ways of painting, and it is mostly flesh. So flesh I find can be kind of tricky, but once you've got that recipe down, you can nail it every time. My favourite one for more dirtier or even darker skin is Bugman flesh with an elf flesh on top, then do a heavy wash of Agrax Earthshade, because it gives it a nice dark look and it really gives them a nice tone. That is one way I would do it. It's fantastic. So yeah, painting, not too difficult. It's a lot of flesh, but of course it depends on which models you're buying, because of course things like the Shagoth, which is a large model, will be a lot more difficult than the Ungors. And of course faces. Faces are a pain in the arse to paint. So yeah, so you're talking about middle difficulty with painting. And the other good thing is there's lots of models still from Warhammer Fantasy available on Games Workshop website. So yay, you've got lots of choice for your Warhammer the Old World. So what do I think? I do like the Beasts of Chaos, and anyone who does multiple armies or even doing a Chaos Super Army will definitely benefit from adding some Beasts of Chaos. For a start, the Vanguard box is a decently priced way of really boosting your army. As I said, 34 models, and you have 3 Dragon Ogres. Dragon Ogres are quite large, so they're a nice centerpiece as well. Always good to have a centerpiece in your army. And of course you can get the Shagoth, which is a fantastically large model. Okay, it's a bit on the expensive side, but yeah, it's a great big model and it looks really good, and it's a model I really do like. And then of course, if you with Beasts of Chaos, you can do all sorts of other things. You've got the different types. You've got Khorne worshippers, so lots of violence. Zangors, which look fantastic, so you want to go Tzeentch way. Absolutely fantastic, great way of going because they're all beaky and they look really cool. Of course, they're just about everywhere, and you can have them on skimmers and magic. Got Slangors. Well, you don't have to have Slangors. You've got the Slangor Fiend Beasts from the Hedonists, which look really good. I would use these as well. They look fantastic. And of course, you have Nurgle. Now, honestly, I was thinking about Nurgle. There isn't any Nurgle Gores at the moment, but Skaven Pestilence, Clan Pestilence would be great for your own Gores. They're little models, and they would look good. And yeah, technically, Skaven are beastmen through a technicality, as in, you know, not being human, but being beasts that worship chaos. Okay, it's a great horned one, but not actually Nurgle. But the Clan Pestilence would look really good and always great and Nurgly. So I would definitely go that way if you were going to do Nurgle. As I was saying, like, there's so much variation here. I was just trying to think. You've got chariots, Centaurs, which are still the old fantasy ones, by the way, not the new Age of Sigmar. And yeah, so much to do. So, a Beast of Chaos, fantastic army to start if you were looking at going that way. What else would I predict? Oh yeah, that's about it actually. Let's think else. Beast of Chaos, like I said, there's variation, which is great. I don't like repeating myself. Oh, the named characters. One thing I did want to mention. You're gonna get brand new named characters. Why? Because the two in one of the books, Morgul happens to be dead. He died before the actual timeline. And they have the other one, which I keep forgetting. He's not yet born. Which is kind of cool to have this. Actually, you have a model which is predating the old world. Morgul is a nice looking model. He does look kind of cool. And yeah, that's quite cool. I like that. It's always good to see something like that. So you're going to get brand new named characters, and new models. These will probably be resin, unfortunately, unless they do what they did with Horus Heresy with like Azrak Alman and, you know, the other guys, Fafnir Ran and Dominion Saffron. How did I forget Dominion Saffron? I'm literally painting them right as we speak. So yeah, could have some plastic ones, which would be great. Plastic models are fantastic. So yeah, Beast of Chaos, damn worth collecting, decent army, cheap to start, good army to go with. You got some nice little tiny models, you got some great big models, you have an army which will be eclectic. You can literally have lots of different models and never repeat the same unit twice, which is always a good thing when you're doing Warhammer, any type of tabletop game, to be honest with you. And I do like a nice varied army. Diversity in an army always looks good. Having the same model over and over again can get really, really boring. So Beastmen have one of those armies which doesn't do that. And you get loads of bits with each model too, which is really good. Especially like the Ungors and Bestigors. There's loads of spare bits, which you can really, really max out your army with, which will just look even better. Having an army which is different from everybody else's and not just your own. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Best Beasts of Chaos, worth collecting for Warhammer the Old World. Absolutely. Why? I just gave you reasons. If you like this video, keep watching. I do enjoy doing them, as always. And yeah, like, comment and subscribe. Why do you like Beasts of Chaos? Also, yeah, Wayland Games, Element Games, if you like Warhammer and you want to save money, especially on that £85 box, you can get a lot cheaper. And start your Beasts of Chaos army up today! Yeah, there you go. And you've got my comics, my merchandise, you know, cups, stuff like that. You know, everyone else sells. Yeah, and I do my own artwork. I don't get anyone else to do it. And of course, Patreon. If you want to see my little silly shorts a day early, well, the day before they come out. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you all again soon. I should have this bit. Yeah, bye bye.